A complex psychological dynamic arises when Sigma Empaths bravely face and reveal the innermost fears of narcissists, causing emotional upheaval in the narcissistic person. Through exploring the intricate layers of the narcissist's fears and weaknesses, Sigma Empaths provoke an acute narcissist response in the narcissistic person, upending their core identity and sense of value. The narcissist's inflated self-image and underlying fear of exposure and rejection can be revealed through a range of behavioral patterns and emotional reactions that may be triggered by this confrontation. 8 things occur when Sigma Empaths reveal the greatest dread of narcissists. 1. Defensive conduct may be evoked by narcissists. Grandiosity, a lack of empathy, and an ongoing desire for love and approval due to underlying insecurity and brittle self-esteem are common traits of narcissists. The narcissist's vulnerabilities are revealed when they are faced with the compassionate qualities of Sigma Empaths, who have an intuitive grasp of human behavior and emotions. This causes the narcissist to become defensive. Because of their exceptional capacity to perceive and mirror the vulnerabilities and anxieties of others, Sigma Empaths may unintentionally reveal the narcissist's innermost thoughts and feelings, upending their well-maintained facade of superiority. The narcissist's delicate self-image is threatened by this exposure, so they naturally try to downplay or reject the effects. To restore control and influence over the situation, they frequently turn to manipulation, gaslighting, or even violence. By maintaining the facade they have created to hide their underlying vulnerabilities, this defensive conduct seeks to protect their ego and thwart any perceived challenge to their self-perceived supremacy. But no matter how hard they attempt to hide their anxieties, Sigma has turned into their worst nightmare, since these egotists will have to face their worries and shortcomings. Yes, narcissists among narcissists. That is what Sigma Empaths are. 2. Narcissists might avoid social situations. Narcissists, who have an exaggerated feeling of their own significance, frequently rely on social connections to obtain approval from others and a sense of superiority. Narcissists, on the other hand, feel extremely vulnerable and uneasy when confronted by Sigma Empaths, whose sensitivity allows them to sense and reflect the innermost anxieties and insecurities of others around them. Sigma Empaths have a special talent for perceiving people's underlying concerns and motivations, especially the narcissist's concealed weaknesses and vulnerabilities. The narcissist's well-built facade of grandiosity starts to fall apart as Sigma Empaths unintentionally mirror these anxieties back to them, leaving them feeling ashamed and inadequate. The narcissist's delicate ego is directly attacked by this exposure to their worst fears, upending the carefully constructed facade of invulnerability. As a result, the narcissist automatically retreats from social interactions and lives in self-imposed seclusion in order to protect oneself from additional scrutiny or disclosures by the Sigma Empath. Narcissists can manage their perceived vulnerabilities and prevent more emotional anguish by using this defensive withdrawal mechanism. 3. Narcissists may use intuitive empathy to reveal their brittle sense of self, inadvertently revealing the narcissist's innermost anxieties and vulnerabilities. Sigma Empaths highlight the vulnerability that the narcissist tries to hide. When their greatest fears are realized and contrast sharply with the idealized image they work so hard to create, this exposure can make the narcissist feel ashamed and incompetent. In order to divert attention away from their seeming vulnerabilities, the narcissist may react in this vulnerable condition by exhibiting defensive behaviors like lashing out, becoming extremely critical, or using manipulative techniques. This presentation of a brittle identity is a narcissist's frantic attempt, albeit one that frequently results in destruction, to regain control and repair their damaged self-image. The narcissist attempts to recover a sense of power and superiority by exposing their frailty in order to avoid feeling uncomfortable about admitting their own flaws and shortcomings. But this protective reaction frequently feeds back into a vicious cycle of emotional instability, strengthening the empath's observations and exacerbating the narcissist's inner conflicts, widening the chasm between them and everyone around them. Narcissists will ultimately find it difficult to regain the confidence that stems from their immoral behavior. 4. Humilators may experience severe humiliation. In order to avoid being called weak, narcissists usually create a carefully staged display of invulnerability, that makes them appear strong and all-knowing to others. To preserve their brittle self-esteem, they frequently put a lot of effort into presenting an appearance of superiority and infallibility. However, when narcissists' idealized self-image is crushed by Sigma Empaths, it can break their sense of invincibility and leave them feeling weak and exposed. Understanding and sympathizing with the worries and insecurities that narcissists harbor, and which motivate their behavior, is a skill that Sigma Empaths possess. The narcissist may find it uncomfortable and unpleasant when they disclose these anxieties because it requires them to face the very weaknesses they have been fervently attempting to hide. For the narcissist, who is used to being in charge and avoiding such disclosures, this encounter can be quite humiliating. They might think they are not being treated with the same respect or consideration as they formerly were. These narcissists will first employ every deception technique known to man to maintain control over the situation, but in the end, they will only appear to be a disgruntled child who has lost their candy. 5. Narcissists who encounter Sigma Empaths may feel powerless. The deep understanding of human emotions and behavior that Sigma Empaths unintentionally reveal threatens most narcissists, making them feel vulnerable and powerless. The narcissist experiences a profound sense of helplessness following this exposure, as their painstakingly built walls crumble before the impact's piercing insights. The narcissist's protective self-image is directly attacked when their deepest fears are exposed, upending their delusion of control and leaving them to deal with crippling feelings of helplessness and hopelessness. When the narcissist realizes the truth about their inner weakness, they may become powerless and find it unable to charm or maneuver their way past the empath's perceptive eyes. The narcissist's internal insanity is exacerbated by this sense of helplessness, which causes them to stumble in their attempt to recover control over their collapsing self-perception, which causes distress and psychological turmoil. In an attempt to reclaim control and hide their impotence, the narcissist may turn to ever more desperate tactics during this vulnerable period, such as hostile conduct, emotional manipulation, or total disengagement. 6. Suicidal ideas are possible in narcissists. Narcissists frequently find it difficult to reconcile the harsh reality of their inner weaknesses and phobias with their brittle self-image. Despite their poisonous and deceptive attitude, they have a fragile nature and may have suicide thoughts if they are exposed to the public. The narcissist may experience an existential crisis as a result of this severe disclosure of their deepest anxieties, which forces them to face the discrepancy between their idealized view of themselves and the truth of their inner battles. They could begin to doubt their own existence and meaning in life to the point where they become unable to comprehend who they are. The impact's revelations might cause a narcissist to feel so worthless that they may consider suicide as a way to cope with the harsh criticism they receive from others. The narcissist may see suicide as a way out of the constant agony of their broken ego and the impending threat of rejection and public humiliation due to the internal turmoil made worse by the fear of their vulnerabilities being completely revealed. This frantic thought of self-harm is a reflection of the underlying inner wrath and agony. When their deepest fears are exposed, the narcissist perseveres. 7. Power and control may be lost by narcissists. Power and control are two things that narcissists frequently thrive on in relationships. The dynamics of power can drastically change, though, when they come with Sigma Empaths, who have a special combination of empathy, confidence, and profound knowledge of human psychology. By revealing the concerns that narcissists harbor, Sigma Empaths successfully upend the skewed world and identity of the narcissist. By subtly and methodically exposing these weaknesses, Sigma Empaths weaken the narcissist's foundation of power. Because of their stoic manner and firm sense of self, Sigma Empaths are usually independent people, which can be extremely disconcerting for narcissists, who are used to controlling other people. The narcissist's typical strategies of seduction, guilt-tripping, or gaslighting a Sigma Empath usually backfire because the latter are unwavering and unmoved. Furthermore, the true empathy that Sigma Empaths exhibit might diffuse the narcissist. Although empaths' emotional sensitivity attracts narcissists, these individuals frequently take advantage of this quality. Instead of only giving from the heart, Sigma Empaths provide a distinct form of empathy that is based in understanding and genuineness. This sincerity can further undermine the narcissist's control by casting their deceptive behavior in stark contrast and appearing hollow and false. 8. Narcissists could think of themselves as failures. Even with their flawless facade and unwavering drive for dominance, narcissists might feel defeated when Sigma Empaths reveal their concerns. For the narcissist, this revelation can be especially upsetting since it goes against their meticulously constructed facade of flawlessness. It can be quite distressing for them to fear that they are weak or flawed. In addition, projection and denial are common defensive strategies used by narcissists to shield their brittle sense of self. The narcissist may find it harder and harder to keep up these shields as Sigma Empaths reveal their anxieties. The gulf between the narcissist's fake self-image and the real understanding of the Sigma Empath can make narcissists believe they are fake, which exacerbates their sense of failure. Sigma Empaths are essentially mirrors that show narcissists how their inflated sense of self-worth and underlying vulnerability contradict one another. When the narcissist faces the fact that they are not the omnipotent figure they have portrayed, this dissonance can cause them to feel like an imposter or a loser. Because it causes them to face the difference between their inflated self-image and their underlying insecurities. Narcissists fear being exposed. Being exposed puts their carefully cultivated facade of perfection in jeopardy and has the potential to destroy their already brittle self-esteem. What, however, does it mean for their relationships and personal development if their fear of being discovered keeps them caught in a lie and manipulation cycle?